Hi and a very warm welcome once again. Here we are at lesson 21, and in today's lesson we're going to be tackling the all-important but very tricky and physical chord, the bar chord. And I'm going to be showing you two bar chords today, the major and the minor. I'm going to be demonstrating how they're an extension of the power chords that we looked at over the previous lessons. So that'll obviously stand you in good stead in learning these new bar chords. I'm also going to be looking at introducing the metronome once again to the new scales that we've covered in the last couple of weeks. And I'm also going to be giving you a little bit of help in learning songs of your own, because I'm sure you'll probably be at that position where you're kind of going a little bit off-piste, shall we say, and learning some songs from the internet. So I'm going to be giving you a little bit of help and advice in sorting through the best websites and sources in learning some songs of your own. So here we go then. First of all, we're going to work on those all-important scales using the metronome. Okay, so I'm going to be using the metronome and introducing that to the two scales that we learned over the previous weeks, the major scale and the natural minor scale. I'm setting the metronome up at 60 beats per minute, and we're going to be playing in quavers and alternate picking as well. So great practice for your timing and your alternate picking. Okay, I'm setting the metronome at 60 beats per minute, nice and steady. And we're going to be playing, as we've done before, down picks on the beat, up picks on the off beat. Now I'm going to demonstrate this in the major scale in the key of G major. So here we go. On the natural minor scale in the key of A minor. Okay, so you'd be more familiar with the major scale because we've been practicing that over the previous weeks. The natural minor scale I introduced last week might take you a little bit of time to work up to speed. Just make sure you get that fingering right on the movement across onto the fourth fret there, and then coming back in, getting your fingering right. I think it's harder coming back down the scale because you've got to anticipate that movement with your fourth finger. So I'll just run up and down it again slowly. Shift across there, back in. And then this is the tricky bit. You've got to come across with your fourth finger and then back in with your third on that fourth string. Okay, and then work it up to speed then with the metronome as I've just demonstrated. Okay, that was a song by the Undertones called Teenage Kicks, which I'm going to be teaching in a few lessons' time because it uses the bar chords that we're going to be learning over the next couple of weeks. So hopefully you should be familiar enough now with the power chords and comfortable with those. So we're going to extend those power chords to include the bar chord. Now, the first thing to say about bar chords is that they're extensions of the power chord, but they use actual shapes, actual chord shapes. And the first bar chord we're going to learn today is called the E major shape bar chord. Now, the theory behind bar chords is basically that open E chord shape is moved to different positions up and down the neck, but we can't do that just by moving the shape because we've got open strings in there. So we put what we call a bar, which is a first finger bar across all 6 strings. And it's kind of like a movable nut. So we're moving kind of like the nut to different positions so I can play that E shape in front of the bar. A lot of people liken the bar to a capo, which is used quite a bit, particularly on acoustic guitars. And so we bar across the 6 strings there, place the E shape in front of the bar, and that gives us a different chord sound. And the root of those chords, the name of the chord, should I say, or the root, is dependent on the position of your first finger on that E string. So if we're using the E shape, which we are going to be doing today, the root of that chord is the 6th string, so the 6th string open is an E. So when I move that chord and put the bar at the different positions, the root of that chord therefore is wherever my first finger is positioned on that E string. So for example, if I play a bar at the 3rd fret with the E shape in front, that root note's a G, so we've got then a G major, and I can move that to an A major. Root on the 5th fret there is the A, and I'm placing me E chord shape in front to give me the major chord sound. Okay, similarly I move it up another tone to the 7th fret. I've got my B major chord there, and that's where I'm going to demonstrate the how to play this bar chord, because the 7th fret's quite central. You're going to find that the easiest position to learn these tricky chords. So what I'm going to get you to do first of all is to bar across all 6 strings, and then just play down with your plectrum the six strings to make sure you're getting a good clean note on all those 6 strings. My thumb again is going to be majorly important in supporting these chords. So again, flat across the back with the ball of my thumb against the back of the neck there. And also, you'll notice I'm kind of pushing the palm of my hand out. The angle of my hand to my wrist there is almost 90 degrees. I'm pushing my hand out there, so I don't want to be squeezing the chord like this. Don't want to be squeezing my hand and bending my first finger at the knuckle there. That's not good. So a flat first finger, flat straight down to the 2nd knuckle there. Pushing me fretting hand out there, and then once you've got a good bar, try and place the E shape in front. So 2nd finger on the 3rd string there, 3rd finger up on the 5th string, little finger underneath. And your little finger does have to, like we said with the power chords, your little finger has to be underneath there, so not separate, not side by side. Otherwise your 3rd finger will get pushed across. Okay, and then practice a little strum down. Okay. Now again, don't be too much of a perfectionist if 2 or 3 of those strings aren't quite ringing as you'd like. That's just how it's going to be for the first few weeks. Even they're not going to be as clean as you'd like them, just as we experienced with the open chords at the beginning of the course. This is exactly the same kind of principle. Got to work those muscles in. Very physically difficult to play these chords. Okay, so start off on that 7th fret on the B major. Squeeze it, make sure you've got your hand position nice and solid, nice and accurately. Each finger placed accurately, and hopefully you'll get a nice sounding chord. Okay, so that's a major bar chord demonstrator. We also need a minor chord shape as well to give that difference between major and minor. And how we do that, if we take the difference between the E major and the E minor, it's the major chord, that's the open E major. To make it minor, I take my first finger off there, so just my second and third fingers on. I could demonstrate that with the bar chord fingering, so using my second, third and fourth there. That's the E major chord, open E major, and the E minor. I just take my second finger off, and that's how we change between the major and the minors in the bar chord shape. So again, I'm demonstrating that at the B position on the 7th fret. That's my major chord. And to change that to minor, or a B minor, I just take my second finger off, so my E minor shape's there now in front of the bar. That gives me my minor sound. Now, this is a little bit trickier to execute than the major, because when you take your second finger off, the note's coming back to that first finger bar there at the 3rd string, and that's one of the strings that's quite tricky to execute with the bar. So you might start off with that 3rd string just missing, but it'll still sound okay. The major chord will still separate out the sound. Major, minor, even if that 3rd string's missing, what you're aiming for is a good strong first finger to really get those up at those bad notes ringing nice and clean. Really tricky. I'd also recommend don't overdo these, so a few minutes each practice session. The more if you keep trying, squeezing, it's going to be counterproductive. You're going to lose strength in your fingers, and the quality of the chord's going to lose. So give yourself a break. So a few minutes on each chord, and practice them in different positions, because, as we said before, the fret sizes are different further down the neck there. So it's a little bit trickier to execute the chord in the different positions. You have to just stretch your fingers a little bit wider. Okay, your arms a little bit further down. So again, nice and strong. Try not to rest your arm on your leg like so, because your arm, your forearm and your wrist and your thumb really want to be offering as much support as they can for these chords. Now, to practice them in different positions, in the next lesson I'm going to be putting them into a practice exercise for you to practice moving them around. And then, like I said, in the following lesson we're going to be learning Teenage Kicks by the Undertones. And once you've got through that and you can play that nice and confidently, then you've cracked your bar chords. Might cause you a little bit of pain and suffering over the next few weeks. Don't overdo it. Just a few minutes here and there, and you'll find they'll improve. But equally, don't don't sort of put them off and not practice them. Otherwise, as we know, they're not going to improve. So little and often, and you'll find they'll come gradually as you build up muscle strength up. So major, minor, and practice them in different positions. Probably the hardest one will be down the F shape, but nevertheless, it's still an important chord, is F. So that'd be a good position to get to. If you can get all the way down to that first fret there and back up. Okay, just to take note of the name of the chord as you're moving. So wherever your first finger lands on that 6th string, get used to the note and the name of the note and associate that with the chord. So B major, B minor, A major, A minor, G major, G minor, F major, F minor. And indeed, moving higher the neck if you so wish. B major, C major, C minor, D major, D E minor. I wouldn't go any higher than that. It's a real squeeze up there. So we have got other bar chord shapes, which I'm going to be introducing as well, which we can substitute for the chords higher up the neck. But tend not to go higher than that with your bar chords, because it's a real squeeze at that D. But you do need the D there. You do need that D for the Teenage Kicks tune. And there we go. Hope they go okay. Like I said, little and often, and just keep regular practice on them. Okay, so like I said at the beginning of the lesson, you're probably at that stage where you're sort of looking on the internet and learning songs of your own. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of help and advice as to where to look, because it can be a bit of a minefield, and there are some bad examples of wrong chords and wrong tab, and it can be very, very frustrating. When I'm teaching one-to-one, I see this all the time, and I'm able to sort of help people and guide them through. Now, if you do get stuck, or if you're a little bit unsure, then feel free to post some questions up on the Facebook forum there, and I'm sure myself and everybody else will help you through. There's some really popular sites. Most people use ultimateguitar.com. Now, when you go on that and you type in the name of the song you want to learn, you'll notice that several versions, sometimes there's tens of different versions. Now, you've got to look at the number of stars, because they're rated by the website team. So wherever possible, choose the one with the 5 stars, 4 or 5 stars. Anything less than that, it's not going to be accurate. And then the number of votes, because people vote on how good they've found it. So if you get a good 5 stars with a lot of votes, then you know it's going to be pretty much on the money. I still have examples where it's not been. Trust your ears. If you're playing something and it sounds wrong, and you're playing it all as it's written, and you're playing it right, but it doesn't sound right, then trust your ears, because the chances are, therefore, it'll be written wrong. And so try a different version. You can, for a small subscription fee, try the Pro version, which opens up a new kind of tab, which actually uses standard music notation as well. It can actually play the tab back in MIDI file as well, so you're able to hear how each little bit of the song sounds. It's great service, and they're pretty much accurate because they're tabbed out by the Ultimate Guitar team. Another website I also use, which is great, and I've also found it extremely accurate, is songster.com. Now, these websites will come up on your screen. Again, it's very much like the Ultimate Guitar Pro version. It's free. You can subscribe, because the free version doesn't allow you to print or access various different services. But it is free, and it is great, and you can play that tab through in the MIDI file as well, so you can hear how the tab sounds as you're learning it. It's a really great system. So those are the 2 sites that I use. And like I said, feel free to sort of work on your own songs. Once you've got the bar chords nice and nailed, then there isn't really many songs that you're not going to be able to tackle. So we've done most of the open chord shapes. There's still, obviously, there's thousands of chords out there. So it's impossible for me to cover every single chord in this course. But you could another good little tool is a chord dictionary, a little book that gives you all your chord shapes as well. So that's a handy little source there to give you an updated version of all the chords that are available. We've covered most of the major, minor, 7th chords as well, and so those will help you out when you going out there and learning some songs of your own. Okay, so that concludes this lesson 21. And your practice, therefore, that to go with this lesson would now include your bar chords in terms of your technical exercises. Also using the metronome with the scales. I set the metronome at 60 beats per minute, which is a good starting point. Keep it to that, and then speed up wherever you're comfortable. A little bit of short, regular practice on your bar chords will set you up nicely for the next lesson, when we're going to put them into an exercise. And learning your own songs via some of the websites that I've pointed out earlier. Okay, enjoy, have fun. I look forward to seeing you on the next lesson.